It is time for the final list of the decade, and it's going to be my picks for the best metal albums of this decade, 2010 through 2019. I decided on top 30. I feel like anything longer than that, like 50 or 100, would just take way too long for a YouTube video. Nobody wants to sit around for an hour and watch all that. But, I've been wanting to do this list ever since I saw Loudwire's Abomination of a list. They did this list a while back, maybe a couple weeks ago. They did top 66, and it was trash. So hopefully I do better than them. And, obviously not everybody's favorite is going to make the list. I had to leave off a lot of albums I liked. Only 30 for an entire decade is not that many, but we're going to get into this. So grab yourselves a drink. Hopefully it's Pepsi. And let's do this. I'm going to go through number 30 to 11 really quick, or as quick as I can. For those of you that have seen my previous videos, lists like this, I usually do an intro clip previewing the material, then I talk about the album. Not going to do that for 30 through 11, just going to go through it as fast as I can, then I'll switch back to the normal format of giving a little sample clip of the album for 10 through 1. But starting at number 30, here we go. It's going to be Annihilator at number 30, self-titled, came out in 2010. I think Annihilator gets a lot of unfair flack for their post-Never Neverland material. Jeff Waters is awesome. Tons of great stuff after that album, Never Neverland, I think. So, 2010, Annihilator self-titled is number 30. Number 29 is going to be Ilum by the band Dark Fortress. Really great melodic black metal band from Germany. Lots of great albums. This one came out back in 2010 also. So these two albums just making the cut, but great stuff. And definitely give this a listen. Number 28 is going to be the Underworld Regime by the band Of Hell. This is a supergroup consisting of former Gorgoroth member King Of Hell on bass, Shagrith from Dimmu Borgir on vocals, and they got session musicians to do the rest. They had Frost, who's an absolute beast, to do the drums, and Enslaved guitarist Icedale. I don't think that's his birth name, but Icedale is what he goes by. Great stuff here, I think. One of my favorite black metal albums personally. And number 27 is going to be Surgical Steel by Carcass. This was a highly anticipated album that came out in 2013. Bill Steer on guitar is a really great, technical, amazing player. And, 17 years between albums, so I think it did live up to the hype. But number 27, Surgical Steel by Carcass. Number 26 is going to be Seven Sinners by Helloween. I actually have this album right here on CD. Really great power metal. And, I'm not a huge fan of European power metal, but this album, these guys made it work very well. Andy Darris on vocals, great singer. Great stuff on that album. Number 25 is going to be Devils in the Dark by Takeyoshi Omura. Really great Japanese guitarist, fairly young compared to a decent bit of this list. He's only 36 years old. Obviously, he is in Baby Metal as a guitarist, one of their live players, so people are probably going to complain about that, I know, but he's a great guitarist if you watch them play live. He shreds with Baby Metal, but this is not similar to anything Baby Metal does, really. Just pretty much traditional style metal. Great shredding from him, great vocals from a plethora of vocalists he got for this album. He also played guitar from Marty Friedman's band for a while, so really great player. Number 25, Devils in the Dark by Takeyoshi Omura. Number 24 is going to be Mystic's self-titled debut album. Came out this year. It was my number 2 pick for best albums of 2019. Great new band from Sweden. Very young, got a promising future, I think. So number 24, Mystic. Number 23 is going to be Unbreakable by the band Primal Fear. Really great German metal band. One of my favorites from Germany. Ralph Scheepers on vocals is a great singer, kind of similar to Rob Halford. And overall, this band is kind of just similar in sound to Judas Priest, but, they have a touch of power metal added in there. I think they're more of a traditional metal sounding band, though. So, yeah, Unbreakable by Primal Fear from 2012 in at number 23. And number 22 is going to be The Electric Age by Overkill. Great album from 2012. These guys are very consistent. Great thrash metal from the USA. Number 21 is going to be Penalty by Perception by Artillery. This is a really great Danish thrash metal band. Their album, By Inheritance, from 1990. One of the greatest thrash metal albums of all time. This one here, Penalty by Perception, came out in 2016. I think it was my number 2 album of that year. So just really great thrash metal here. Great guitar work. And, the Stutzer brothers are their guitarists. Great stuff from those guys. And into the top 20 now. It's going to be Eve to Dawn by Loudness. And I'm just looking down at my list here, not a robot. Can't remember 30 through 11. without looking at the list here. So number 20 is Eve to Dawn by Loudness. These guys, incredible Japanese metal band, one of my favorite bands of all time. I previously ranked them number 5 on my top 10 metal bands list. This is their 23rd album. So came out in 2011. 23 albums in, they're still making really, really good material. Great, classic sounding metal band. Loudness, awesome stuff. And number 19 is going to be another Japanese metal band. These guys are called, the name of their band is Anthem. The album is called Burning Oath, came out in 2012. It's really great stuff. Akio Shimizu on guitar, really great player. Love his tone, his solos are amazing, lots of great riffs. Really consistent, great band as well, so definitely give that a listen. Number 18 is going to be Time Is Up by the band Havoc. Great drumming here from Pete Weber, Weber, whatever, however he pronounces that. But great American thrash metal, new stuff. Like they formed in 2004, I think, from Colorado. Time Is Up from 2011, Havoc, number 18. Number 17 is going to be Redeemer of Souls by Judas Priest. I've actually got that on CD right here. And I have it on vinyl. Flip it up the right way. Great. It's got a pretty cool gatefold opening. Might as well show. This was the first album with Richie Faulkner. Really great album, I think. Dragonaut, Redeemer, the title track, Halls of Valhalla, Battle Cry. Lots of great stuff on here. I know a lot of people probably prefer Firepower, but personally, I like that one better. And up at number, where are we at here? Number 16. I've got this album on CD as well somewhere. It's right here. Holy Grail, Crisis in Utopia. Really great debut album from these guys. New wave traditional heavy metal band from California. They got 3 albums total. This is a great one from 2010. James Paul Luna on vocals is an amazing singer. And at number 15 is going to be The Dream Calls for Blood by Death Angel. Great thrash metal band. Americans from California. Well, Filipino-American, some of them are. Rob Cavestany, Mark Osageda. Great stuff from these guys. Really amazing guitarist and singer. Those are the only 2 original members still in the band. But awesome band, one of my favorites. And number 14 is going to be Twist of Fate by the band Hitten. These guys are from Spain. Pretty new band. This album came out last year. Was my number 2 album of the year. Kind of similar to Iron Maiden type of style. Awesome stuff, so give that a listen. Number 13 is going to be Tales of Splendor and Sorrow by the band Iron Flame. Now this band is going to have an album come out next year. It's a really great newish band from Ohio, I think. Andrew DeCagna does everything, all the vocals and like all the instruments on the albums. Yeah, he does all the stuff. He gets a live band together for the live performances, obviously, but he's a really talented guy, great singer. And up at number 12 is going to be Redefined Mayhem by the band Holy Moses. Great German thrash metal band. Sabina Klassen on vocals is their only original member that has sang on everything. You know, nobody else is an original member, but still a great album. Regardless, came out I think in 2014. And number 11 is Burn the Night by Riot City. This is their debut album. Came out this year. Was my number 1 album of the year. Great traditional sounding metal. You know, if you like Judas Priest, you're gonna like this album. Amazing stuff. So I got through number 30 through 11. Gonna go back to my original, or not my original, but you know, my normal format with the intro clip, giving you guys a little sample of the album, and yeah. So on to number 10. Starting off the elite portion of the list is going to be King of Pain by Loudness, the first band with 2 albums to appear on the list, and again, like I said before, one of my favorite metal bands of all time. Japanese beasts here, amazing freaking discography. This album came out in 2010, and you know, lots of great stuff on the album, as you could hear from the intro clip there. A ton of stuff like that. Really great material from Akira Takasaki, great guitar work. Amazing that they can come up with good stuff to this point. This was their 22nd album, so amazing that they're coming up with stuff, let alone amazing stuff like this. So yeah, number 10, King of Pain by Loudness. Up at number 9 is going to be Head of the Pack by the band Skull Fist. Now, these guys are from Canada, part of the new wave of traditional heavy metal movement. First discovered them a few years back when I watched that movie Deathgasm. One of their songs was at the end. I was like, dang, that's pretty good. Let me look these guys up. Love them. One of my favorite newer bands, and this album is really great. Very strong debut from these guys. Ride the Beast is an amazing song. One of my favorite songs from any new metal band at all. One of my favorite songs of all time, probably. So, really great album. And Zach Slaughter on vocals and guitar. Johnny Nesta on guitar as well. It's really great guitar work. You know, I feel like this band is like a cross between Dokken and Iron Maiden. So if you like those bands, give this a listen. Skull Fist, Head of the Pack, number 9. Another band making their second appearance on the list. It's going to be Holy Grail with Ride the Void. Really awesome band, as I said before, and, you know, this is their best album in my opinion. All three are really good, but I feel like this is their best work. Came out in 2013. Great guitar work from Alex Lee and Eli Santana. Amazing vocals from James Paul Luna. Just overall, really great, classic-sounding metal album. New wave of traditional heavy metal. These guys are a part of that. One of the bigger bands of that movement, one of the leaders of it. So yeah, definitely give these guys a listen if you like classic sounding stuff. In at number 7 is going to be Dystopia by Megadeth, my all-time favorite band. Got it here on CD. Got it up on the wall back there, if you can see. That vinyl up on the wall is actually signed, I've mentioned this before, by Kiko Loureiro, Dave Mustaine, David Ellefson, and Chris Adler, so that's pretty cool. Great freaking album here, number 7. You know, obviously Super Collider was not their best work. Two members of the band, Chris Broderick and Sean Drover, left after that, and, you know, Dave Mustaine wanted to come out with an album that was faster and heavier than that. He definitely did that. Really great stuff. Dystopia, I think my favorite songs on here are probably, I'd say, Poisonous Shadows and The Threat Is Real, but lots of really great stuff. Number 7 from 2016, Dystopia by Megadeth. Ironbound by Overkill is going to be in at number 6 here. Their second appearance on the list, and they're very deserving of 2 spots. One of the most consistent metal bands of all time. One of the best metal bands of all time, too. You know, this album, really great thrash metal. They're very consistent. Most of their albums are pretty dang good. I'd probably say my favorites on this album are The Goal Is Your Soul and Bring Me the Night. But, you know, Bring Me the Night, that's an amazing song. Really good stuff from start to finish. Ironbound, Overkill, number 6.
Behold, to die tonight, mesmerized by fire. I fall tonight, mesmerized by fire.
Death by Fire by Enforcer is in at number 5. Really great, pretty new band from Sweden. They formed back in 2004 as a solo project of Olaf Wickstrand. He's the singer and guitarist right now, and like he had some more people join the band in like 2006 or so, including his brother on the drums. Really great band. They have 5 albums now. This is a really great one. It came out in 2013. I'd probably say Death Rides This Night and Mesmerized by Fire are my favorites, but really great from start to finish. Pretty thrashy, mixed with like new wave of traditional or like traditional heavy metal type of stuff. They're like the leading band of the new wave of traditional heavy metal, in my opinion. So yeah, Enforcer, Death by Fire, number 5. Taking the number 4 spot for me is Absolute World by Anthem. Another double appearance on the list, but very deserving. This album is amazing. The guitar work by Kiyo Shimizu, freaking incredible. Just one of my favorite guitar players of all time, honestly. Great tone, great riffs, great solos. And, you know, this is another really consistent band. They've got a lot of really good albums. I'd probably say my favorite album of theirs is Domestic Booty from 1992. And, you know, this album actually has 3/4 of that lineup. But really great stuff. Just looking at the track list, I'd probably say Don't Let It Die is probably the best song. Destroy the Boredom is awesome. In the Chaos is great. There's a really cool instrumental on here, too. Just lots of great stuff throughout the album. Highly recommend checking it out. You will not be disappointed. Absolute World by Anthem, number 4. From Beyond by Enforcer is in at number 3. Another double appearance on the list, but, you know, I feel like they are very deserving, as the others are. Feel a little bad about it, but oh well, these are my favorites. This album came out back in 2015. These guys, probably my favorite newer band, as I said before. You know, just looking at this track listing here, Destroyer, Undying Evil, One with Fire. So many great songs on this album. Very consistent from start to finish. Traditional metal, speed metal mix here. Awesome stuff. Definitely give these guys a listen. From Beyond by Enforcer at number 3.
A crumbling empire where ranges fear to tread into the ruins of a civilization, a society ripped to shreds. No semblance of order to the world which I abhor.
Exhibit B, The Human Condition by Exodus is my number 2 album of the decade. Got it right here on CD. Just really, really amazing thrash metal from these guys. Came out in 2010, so just made the cut for the decade. Gary Holt, Lee Altus on guitars. Lee Altus of Heathen. Some great albums from that band back in the 80s, 1990, I think was their second album. And in 2009, they had an album that's good. But this album, Rob Dukes on vocals. Tom Hunting is a beast on the drums. Really consistent from start to finish. Looking at this track listing. You know, Class Dismissed, Hate Primer is a really great song. Downfall, The Ballad of Leonard and Charles. Just really great stuff from start to finish here. So this is my number 2. And we are up to number 1. What is it going to be? I'm not going to give any honorable mentions because I could just spend all day just giving, you know, honorable mentions. But I'm going to leave that out. So, again, don't get too mad if your favorite album wasn't on the list. On to number 1. Chasing the Dream by Skullfist, my number 1 album of this decade. Came out back in 2014. Really, really amazing from start to finish, in my opinion. You know, Zach Slaughter on vocals does an amazing job. Great guitarist as well. And Johnny Nesta also does guitar with him. But, you know, just looking at the track listing here, so many great songs. Bad for Good, y'all probably know, as I said before, there was a song in Deathgasm. That was the first song I heard from them. Great stuff. Mean Street Rider, Don't Stop the Fight, You're Gonna Pay. Just all these songs are amazing. Great classic metal sound here. And as I said before, you know, if you like bands like Dokken and Iron Maiden, maybe like a little bit faster than those guys, but it's kind of like a cross between them. You're gonna love this band, Skullfist. And so yeah, that wraps up my top 30 albums of this decade. Hopefully you thought this list was better than Loudwire's abomination of a list. But if you didn't, oh well. You can give me what your favorites are. Obviously, nobody's going to agree on this. There's so many choices. Very hard to limit it down. But, you know, until next time, thank you for watching.